today I'm going to share with you how to connect with anyone. Making a connection is vital to achieving your dreams and goals. It's critical to help you succeed in life. Hey, I'm Terri Savelle, your cheerleader of dreams. Anytime someone asks me how I went from living paycheck to paycheck, in debt, out of shape, no dreams and goals for my life at all, to doing what I'm doing today, I always say just one word: routine. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Well, one of the biggest changes I made to my daily routine was listening to inspirational messages that just pointed my life in the right direction. So I want to ask you to subscribe to this podcast by pushing the little red arrow so you start a routine of consistent inspiration and coaching to help you live your dreams. So today, I'm going to share with you how to connect with anyone. Making a connection is vital to achieving your dreams and goals. It's critical to help you succeed in life. Whether you're in sales, you're a public speaker, you have a dream for your life, but you don't know how to get started, you have to learn how to connect better with people. In fact, John Maxwell, I think he said it best. He said, everyone communicates, but few connect. Well, Jesus was the great connector. Well, the number one way we connect with people is with story. When you share your story of your struggles, your challenges, your downfalls, your vulnerabilities, the trying times in your life when you just wanted to quit, that's what causes people to connect with you. As a speaker, whether you're a teacher, you're in sales, you're a minister, here's a good rule to remember. Never tell a story without a point, and never make a point without a story. See, the human brain just lights up when it hears stories. So if you're in public speaking of any kind, you've got to include stories. That's just going to cause people to connect with you. The second way, the second way I want to tell you is if you're in sales. Do you know the best way you connect is with story also? In fact, I was watching this fascinating podcast on YouTube by a guy named David J.P. Phillips, and it was all about a research he did involving the power of story to boost sales and impact people. Now, this is shocking. Listen to this. 2009, a journalist named Rob Walker, he wanted to find out, if storytelling really is the most powerful tool of all. Well, in order to do this, he went online and he bought 200 objects on eBay. Now, the average price per object was about $1 or less. So what he did was he called 200 authors and he asked them if they wanted to be a part of this significant object study and write a story about the object. Well, 200 authors said yes, so we got 200 objects with 200 stories. Went on eBay with the experiment. What do you think happened? One object, I'll just tell you because I can't really hear your thoughts, but one object was a horse head. It was just this plastic little horse that he bought for 99 cents. He sold this with a story attached to it for $62.95. Shocking. So he thought, is this just like a freak occurrence? Well, all 200 items that he put on there, he bought those for a total of $129. With a story attached to every single item, he sold them for $8,000. What am I saying? Stories connect with our heart. Stories are what cause people to just instantly grab hold of what you're saying and connect with you. So the third way, with your products, your business, not just like plastic horses, but with your business. In fact, I was listening to this guy and he was talking about how he was helping people with their businesses, and he had this chiropractor who was trying to sell based on the spine and all these medical terms, and the lingo was just like exhausting. So the consultant asked him, he said, why did you become a chiropractor? Well, the chiropractor went on and told him, he said, well, first of all, I was in dental school. And I don't think he held up a giant toothbrush. But he said, I was in school to become a dentist, and then I got married, and he said, my wife got in this tragic, car accident, hurt her back so bad. He said she was in severe pain. She went to all these doctors, and nothing helped. Finally, he said she went to a chiropractor, and he got her out of pain. He said, when I saw my wife go from pain to no pain with what he did, He said, that's when I thought, that's what I want to do with the rest of my life. So he said, I switched majors from being a dentist to being a chiropractor. And he said, I want to help people get out of pain just like that chiropractor helped my wife. He said it changed the quality of her life. The consultant who was listening to this, he said, dude, that's your story. So he said he got a camera, he told the story on camera, put it on their website, put it in the brochures, put it everywhere they could find a place. People started emotionally connecting with him as a chiropractor. He's now the most successful one in his entire city by far. Why? Stories are what connect you with people. Not just talking about the spine, talking about the vertebrae. It's the story that causes people to connect. You know, some of you may remember Beanie Babies. Do you remember these? Toy maker Ty Warner, he had a lifetime of failed business ideas. Well, finally, he said he emptied his savings account, mortgaged his home, convinced he had an idea worth betting on. He decided to take just an average stuffed animal, add a little name and a birth date. Now, y'all are going to think this is funny. This one just happens to be named Rodney, like my husband, and the birth date is April 4th, like my husband. I thought that was cute. But anyway, he took just a stuffed animal, put a name and a birthday, and a story. Like there was one that was a lobster named Pinchers, born June 19th, 1993. And it would just say little things like, this lobster loves to pinch, eating his food inch by inch, balancing carefully with his tail, moving forward slow as a snail. It was cute little things like that. Well, his idea flew off the shelves. Kids didn't want just one Beanie Baby. They wanted every single one of them. You may remember, and you may have purchased them. Well, at their peak, Beanie Babies pulled in over $700 million in 1 year. Again, we feel connected to something when we hear a story. A story changes everything. So, for you personally, like I said, your vulnerabilities, your mistakes, your failures, that's what causes people to connect with you. Well, in fact, I want to help you connect better. And this could mean connecting with the right people, your customers, your audience, connecting on camera, through resources and sales. Maybe you're in multi-level marketing, connecting with mentors. You have to be able to connect with people in order to fulfill your assignment and live your dreams. But first, let me just recognize our YouTube subscriber this week. This week is Pat Dorr. Pat Dorr, well, that's a cute name. I don't know, is Dorr the last name? That's really cute. Maybe that's just a handle. Je ne sais pas, I don't know. But this is what Pat says. Terri, you are so encouraging. Thank you, Pat Dorr. Because of your life coaching videos, I have a newfound zest for life with hope for a good future. Thanks a million. That blesses my heart. For you to have a zest for life, because passion, potential, purpose, that all goes hand in hand. So for you to get your zest back, that just means God is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. So thank you, Pat Dorr, for taking time to write. This week, like I said, I'm giving you a 3-part series on the leadership connection method. Now, I've broken this down in 3 different emails that you will get over the course of the next few days. In order to live your dreams and fulfill your assignment, there is one thing you must master, and that's connecting. So I want you to just click the link in the description or go to terri.com/connection to enroll in my free 3-part series on the leadership connection method. And remember, for more consistent motivation, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. You can find the handles below, or click that little red subscribe button for weekly videos to make this your best year yet. Thanks for watching, and remember, I'm cheering you on. It's not a matter of doing what I do. He said the question is, do you want to do what I did so you can do what I do? See, you can't have a $1 million dream with minimum wage habits. You change your routine, you change your whole life. And I told you, and I'm telling you this from experience, you're going to go from uncomfortable to unstoppable. Five, four, three, two, one.